The next page in the system is the Financial Assessment PDP. This page allows you to capture all of your costs and expenditures for your project or program. The first section of this page is broken up into capital or revenue, with the same 5 headings for each. These are just high-level information and should already be captured by your cost report, so you can simply copy and paste into these fields. These fields are the original capital project budget, the revised capital project budget, the capital spend to date, the worst anticipated capital account, and the most likely capital account. And then the same for revenue. The second section on this page is the cash flow section. This allows you to put in your original or anticipated expenditure versus your actual or forecast expenditure. You'll notice for each section there is also a sunk cost field. This merely allows you to capture anything that is before the first year on the page, in this case 2019-2020. Any expenditure before that should be put into the sunk cost field. When your project or program is starting out, you should be able to have a baseline for each of the years relevant to the project. This should be entered straight away, or as soon as the information is known. The actual and forecast may look very similar to the baseline originally. However, as you spend actual figures, you should be able to remove the forecast and replace with the actual spend figure. This will generate the cash flow. The bottom of each section has an automatic total. So you do not need to do anything with this, as it will automatically sort itself out. The forecast different total merely takes the difference between the baseline and the actual and forecast. The next section on this page is to do with funding, and both are SharePoint lists. Funding information is the first section. To complete this, simply click the Item tab, and then click the New Item dropdown, and then Funding Information. This will generate a SharePoint list for you to complete. Again, anything mandatory is indicated with a little red star. In this case, this is the funding information, so the mandatory field is funding source. You can then complete a funding amount, any dates will have a smart calendar, and again whether it's capital or revenue. As with our previous SharePoint list, you do need to click Save on the list rather than at the top of the page. Once saved, this will appear in this list. If you have multiple funding streams, you can simply add a new item again using the same process, and this will add to this list. Funding conditions is the next bit. This is exactly the same process and allows you to add any condition against your funding. Again, items, new item, and funding conditions. Here, the criteria or the condition is the mandatory field. You can also enter a required outcome and a current outcome, but again, these are not mandatory. You then must save. Again, this will populate another list. Underneath the funding section is a totals section. This is a total of the first section on the page, so the high-level figures for the capital and the revenue, and it will automatically be totaled together into this section. As you can see, these headings mirror the headings at the top of the page. There is also space for you to leave a comment. This is a comment about the finances and can be anything that you feel important to share. And that concludes the financial information page.